Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to first look at Arsenal could be given £25.2 million transfer encouragement amid Atletico Madrid failure, and then we're going to look at Antonio Conte can bring back the good times as Arsenal tips to replace Mikel Arteta. So the first transfer headline states that Arsenal could be given £25.2 million transfer encouragement amid Atletico Madrid failure. So the reports are stating that the Frenchman has been linked with the move away from the Emirates Stadium, and the Spanish Giants could now renew their interest. Arsenal's hopes of moving on Alexandre Lacazette may have been boosted with Atletico Madrid's recent transfer failure. The Frenchman has been linked with the move away from the Emirates Stadium throughout the summer, and with just a year left on his deal, the Gunners need to sell if they hope to recoup any fee for his signature. FC Barcelona have been touted as potential suitors, whilst AS Roma were credited with a fleeting interest ahead of completing a move for Chelsea forward and Arsenal target Tammy Abraham. Whilst the Gunners are struggling to sell the Frenchman, who is valued at £25.2 million by transfer marks, they could well be handed considerable encouragement by Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone's men were another of the sides to reportedly be interested in Alexandre Lacazette. They were linked with the now 30-year-old during his time with Lyon, whilst it was reported by Calcio Mercato last month that the Spanish champions were still admirers and could table a £15 million bid for his services. Despite that, Los Rojiblancos had appeared to have moved on to alternative targets, with Wolverhampton Wanderers' Rafael Mir a surprise target following his positive performances at the Tokyo Olympics. With the Spaniard set to be signed, it looks as though a move for Alexandre Lacazette was unfeasible. However, according to Marca, Sevilla are now favourites to secure the signature of Rafa Mir instead, leaving Atleti short of options as they attempt to bring in support for veteran Luis Suarez. This could then potentially see them revive their interest in Alexandre Lacazette with a deal worth up to £25.2 million, a fee that would certainly be useful for the Gunners as they attempt to bolster their squad following their poor start to the campaign. It is understood that both Martin Odegaard and Aaron Ramsdale are close to completing moves to the Emirates Stadium, with Mikel Arteta still keen on signing a right back and a forward. The club are still hopeful of bringing in more players ahead of transfer deadline day, as it is understood. So it looks like Arsenal could be given £25.2 million transfer encouragement amid Atletico Madrid failure. So it looks like Atletico Madrid could look at Alexandre Lacazette as the striker to replace the veteran Luis Suarez, as they still haven't found a sufficient replacement to Luis Suarez after he wants to find a partner after he made that move from Barcelona, and Alexandre Lacazette could replace Luis Suarez whilst Luis Suarez is on injury or if he runs through a bad patch of form, and Alexandre Lacazette has the capability to play as a second striker, as he did try that with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang under Unai Emery at certain moments, and Lacazette could give Mikel Arteta the funds necessary to bring in their own forward recruits as they look to bolster their squad further. So it slightly takes us on to the second piece of transfer news, which states that Antonio Conte can bring back the good times as Arsenal tipped to replace Mikel Arteta. So the reports are stating that Arsenal have been urged to replace Mikel Arteta with Antonio Conte. Arsenal must sack Mikel Arteta if they feel they have any chance of luring Antonio Conte to the club, according to former Tottenham striker Darren Bent. Mikel Arteta saw his Arsenal side lose 2-0 to Brentford on the opening day of the Premier League season last Friday. The Gunners now play European champions Chelsea and title holders Manchester City in their next two matches. Mikel Arteta could only lead Arsenal to an 8th place finish last season. They failed to qualify for any European competition for the first time in 26 years. Meanwhile, Antonio Conte led Inter Milan to their first Serie A title in a decade last season before leaving the Italian side. He has had success in England, having won the Premier League in his first season at Chelsea in 2017. Arsenal fan Darren Bent believes the club are going nowhere under Mikel Arteta's leadership and says they should do all they can to get Antonio Conte. He said on TalkSport, "Well, if you want to get back to the good times, then you sack him and you bring in someone like Conte. You'd have to say it right now. No, Mikel Arteta is not the right man because Arsenal are declining. They are spending a lot of money on bringing in players and we seem to be going backwards. I think Antonio Conte, different kettle of fish. If they can get someone like Conte's level, yeah, sack Arteta, get Conte. But would Antonio Conte come? If they've got an inkling that they can sign Antonio Conte, sack Mikel Arteta. Also, if Arsenal can reach the top 4 under Mikel Arteta, Darren Bent said, "Oh no, not with this squad." However, former Crystal Palace chairman Simon Jordan disagrees that Antonio Conte would be a good fit at Arsenal. Jordan says the Italian could cause chaos at the Emirates. Can you imagine Antonio Conte being at Arsenal? Jordan said, "The guy is a very good manager, but he is a nightmare to work with. He doesn't like anything unless he gets exactly what he wants. There's a case to be said that they should get what they want, but there has to be a reason at the end. You can't have exactly what you want. It's not your money. You don't run the football club. You have to work within a framework. Everyone does." Antonio Conte does not believe that it is applicable to him, and more power to his elbow if he can get away with it. Can you imagine him going into Arsenal with Silent Stan over here, Edu, and you will have chaos in there? If you think Arsenal is in disrepair, now imagine what it will be like when you have personalities like this in the place. So it looks like Antonio Conte can bring back the good times as Arsenal sits to replace Mikel Arteta. So this is a very big problem for the Gunners. Should we replace Mikel Arteta is a question we've all started to see as Arsenal fans. After that defeat to Brentford, everything looks very sad for the Arsenal fans and very sad for Arsenal as a whole, and especially for Mikel Arteta, with his job looking more and more likely to be sacked, as he is looking more and more likely to fail in this Arsenal job, and it may be too big a job for Mikel Arteta. And with Antonio Conte being as a man tipped to replace Mikel Arteta, there has been views which see that he can bring the good times back, as his personality is something that Mikel Arteta doesn't offer in my opinion, and he could also turn the ship even worse. So we will have to wait and see how Arsenal will use the summer transfer window in the end. Make sure you check out the FA Cup posters, the special link I've put below in the description, and smash that like button to see if you can reach 30 likes. Also subscribe for more daily videos and share the video with your Arsenal friends and family. Click one of the latest videos on the screen and I'll see you there.